Welcome to the Period Besties Podcast with Stasha and Katie. Think about it as chatting with your best friends about all the TMI stuff you've never talked about before with two period coaches who've been helping hormones collectively for over 20 years now. I'm Stasha.
And I'm Katie, and we're pulling back the curtain on what it's like in the world of menstrual coaching. From puberty to menopause and everything in between, we're here to show you how period coaching can save the day. We'll share practical tips and information you can put to immediate use to improve your hormones and happiness.
We're removing the mystery, ending the taboo, and shining a light on just how powerful period coaching can be.
So whether you need period coaching or are considering becoming a period coach yourself, these episodes are going to help you. We'll share stories, coach live on air, and bring smart, savvy guests to share their wisdom too. Let's start today's episode.
Welcome back, besties. We are continuing our chat on not necessarily funny, but looking back, we can find the humor in some of these events of our childhood, adolescence, depending on when you got your period, and maybe even our 20s, 30s, wherever you're at right now. We're just talking about some of those moments that are etched into our memory that we might not think about often, but when we do share them, we can kind of find a little bit of humor in the fact that we didn't know anything. And now we're learning all about our bodies. So we're super excited to have Glen with us today. Do you want to share a little bit about you for everyone to get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So I met Katie. Our boys went to school together and we became besties and also period besties because we talk about that a lot with each other. And we definitely got really close to talking about what's going on with our bodies. And I was so grateful to find another friend to share that with because it's not always everyone's favorite topic. So I am a mom. I have a 5-year-old son and I just left the corporate world. I got laid off and now I'm just rediscovering what I want to do with my life and definitely reflecting. So when Katie asked if I wanted to join the podcast for today's topic, I was really excited because I'm definitely in a reflecting mode, especially everything that happened back when I was a teenager. So yeah.
Do you want to start with a first period or first memory of a period when you were younger?
Oh my God. The first time let me back up. The first time I remembered hearing about periods is in 4th grade when they separated the boys and the girls. And we got the talk about what's going to happen to our body soon. And I distinctly remember them saying it doesn't hurt. And if I could remember that teacher's name, I would reach out to her right now because that is not true, as most of us know. And shortly after that, when I was 10 years old is when I started my period. And I thought I was dying because my mom, we never talked about it at home. She showed me her stash ones, only pads, and then that was it. So I freaked out. And then my mom, because I had the stomach pains and everything. And then she's like, oh, you started a period. Here's a pad. And that was it. I didn't talk to friends about it. I mean, I was just embarrassed. I was like ashamed about it.
Do you remember that first pad? Was it the size of a phone book or?
Yeah, it was huge. It was clearly looked like my butt had been altered in some way. Luckily, I was wearing a lot of wind pantsuits at the time.
See?
Those winds, like those like swishy pants and jackets.
Yes.
So
We were just talking about that with Courtney on the previous episode, and she was talking like at least like the wind pants. So you cover the noise of the pad.
exactly. And a little bit, and the added layer of padding back there too. So yeah. And the pad was huge and uncomfortable. And I have a really embarrassing story to go along with that, if you're ready. Yeah.
Bring it.
So again, I had to have been 10 or 11 years old. My mom was working and my dad wanted to take my brother and I to the water park, which was super exciting. But I started my period and my mom was gone. This is before cell phones. So I just put this massive pad in my one-piece bathing suit and went to the water park like everything would be fine. And oh my God, it was not. And so I ended up just wrapping a towel around me because I didn't even want to tell my dad. until I actually was like, we got to go. And my dad just went, oh, okay. And never talked about it again.
Too bad it wasn't like a female lifeguard that was like, yo, girl, come here. I got you.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. I feel like even looking back at middle school when girls, inevitably would like have a stain or have an accident and no one said anything. And because everyone was just embarrassed all around.
Did your brother say anything? Was he with you?
Yeah, he didn't notice.
Of course.
He's a year younger than me. He didn't notice. Like, I think, pretty sure if I brought it up to him now, first of all, he'd be like, gross, Glenn, shut up. But then he'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it's so interesting, like how there was just silence around everything. I feel like I try to make up for it now. Like whenever I see a woman, even with toilet paper stuck on her foot, I have to run after her and I'm like, you have toilet paper stuck on your foot. Like I'm trying to make up for every time I didn't say something back then, but you don't know what to say, especially if there's no communication at home or your friends, you're not talking about it. And then you're so young too. I think like in retrospect, you look back and obviously we have so much knowledge and we're older, but back then you just don't even know. Everyone's just so embarrassed all the time about everything, just even leaving the house at that age.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's really interesting now to see how my friends who have daughters, we all grew up with the same experience where it was very much you don't talk about this. And no one, we're not going to be open. Like there's no communication around periods whatsoever. Now, my friends who have daughters have made it such a point to have those conversations and make sure they're prepared and make sure that they help their friends. And it's really cathartic in a way to hear them talk about that and how they are trying to make up for what the education that they didn't get and the conversations that they didn't get around periods. So I feel like we're coming into like this next generation of, we're already there.
Yeah.
People are talking about it on their Instagram stories. I could never imagine doing that when I was like 13 or 14 years old. Are you kidding me? But so props to these girls now and to everyone who's talking about periods. It's great.
I know. I'm so impressed with the girls these days that are just stepping up and stepping out and being like, no, I'm not going to be ashamed of something that happens to all of us. No, forget it. I'm not taking your shame on. I just am so proud of them.
Right? Me too.
Yeah.
How are you feeling with your period now? I mean, well, like, are you still, because I feel like sometimes even with like everything, I feel like having kids, right? I was never thought in a million years I would be naked after having kids, but I was like, I can't have anything touch me. I feel like the older I get, the more that I don't care. I'll talk about like anything to anybody. But there are some times when I can't even understand why I'm feeling that way, even though I'm tracking, and then I get my period and like, you were a little bit of a mess because your period's coming.
Oh, yeah. Katie and I talked about this last weekend when, to sum up how I was feeling before my period, I was walking through the woods in the rain, crying, listening to the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack. And a bicyclist came up to me and was like, are you okay? And I was like, leave me alone. And then I almost got a divorce. Everything's fine now. I was so like beyond emotional. And I think that's part of I'm about to be 39. I also have a hypothyroid issue like Katie. I feel like my hormones, just like the older I get, the more intense they feel, or I feel the changes more intensely. So yeah, working through that right now.
The first warnings of perimenopause coming in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, actually, it's so funny. I was telling mom at school about how I was feeling lately. And then she goes, are you in perimenopause? I was like, no, I can't be. Not yet. And I'm pretty sure it's happening.
Slowly, but happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was going to ask about your son. Does he notice anything? Does he notice your moods or does he follow you into the bathroom? I'm so curious because my boys are like on it. And I like, mommy has her period. They're like, again?
Oh, yeah. No, Vito definitely catches on to things. Because sometimes, I most days I don't care if he follows me into the bathroom, or like we have a pretty open household. And then the days I'm like, I need privacy, he goes, "Oh, is it that thing in your pants?" And I'm like, "My period. Yes. Yes, I had my period right now." And he loves to comment on that, especially if he's with me in a public bathroom, which is great. He loves to let everyone know mom's had her period. So she needs privacy. As far as like, if he know, I don't know if he notices how I feel, like, or how my emotions change. But again, yeah, that maybe I haven't asked him,
Yeah.
but I think, I mean, he definitely is aware as much as he can be at 5 years old. He's
Yeah.
aware of what's going on and that I need to lay down more sometimes. And no one can come in the bathroom with me because I don't want anyone touching me or near me.
Oh, girl, I feel you. I feel like the boys just like, if I don't let them in, they just bang on the door and they just want to see what's going on. Then they leave. I have no privacy. It's kind of insane when you think about it because the boys
Yeah.
never follow my husband into the bathroom. But they
Oh,
do
yeah.
if I were in a public bathroom and they'll be talking about it very loudly because they come in with me. And I think I hear a lot of chuckles, like all the other women in there are like, yeah, okay. Even if they haven't been there, they've listened to this conversation before.
I've
Oh, yeah.
definitely heard a kid walking around the store going, "My mom has her period," and mom going,
Yeah.
"Buddy, you're right. Well done."
Yeah.
So I was like, well, at least everyone knows to give her a little extra space, right? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I need to start having a flag bearer who goes in front of me when I'm in public on my period. That's just like, she has her period. Give her space.
Yeah,
Right? Like, I feel like I could just give Vito a bell and he'll be like, hear thee, my mom is bleeding," like, or something like.
Please stay 5 feet
And then,
away.
I
yeah.
feel like he totally would.
Oh, he would love to do that. Yeah.
For me, with the boys, it's more like mommy's having a rough day. She's a little more emotional. Her period's coming, so I'm trying to like explain it to them or after the fact, after I lose my mind.
Yeah. It is interesting because, like, I feel like Vito does ask me every time, what is it? What does that mean? What does having my period mean? Like, he's seen blood. He's seen the tools that I use. That might be a weird word for it, tools, but you know what I mean? Like, so I try to explain it in like the most basic terms that I can because I want him to be aware of it. And I don't want him to be that kid at school making fun of another kid if there's an accident. I even was telling Chris, my husband, I was like, when he's in middle school, I'm going to put pads and tampons in his bag. And he's like, oh, okay, let's take a step back a minute.
Oh, no, there's
Well, I
boys.
want him to,
That's
yeah, I want him to help a friend if someone needs help. Like, I want him to be prepared and understand what it is and that it's not a gross, embarrassing thing. So
You guys are raising boys who, if they end up being straight, are going to be amazing partners.
let's hope so. Yeah.
It is. And I was just teaching in class and I had a boyfriend who came to the class because he was like, no, she has bad periods. She gets cysts and then they explode and then she's in pain. And I want to know what to do to A, help her not get so many cysts, and B, what to do when they explode and she's in pain.
Oh.
Like, I'm here to learn. And it was just so refreshing to have a dude who came to class because he wanted to learn. And here's 3 boys who are going to grow up having that knowledge and being able to be helpful and supportive. And that makes a big difference. I mean, it really does. Had I had supportive boyfriends when I had my period, things would have been probably vastly different. At least I had a very supportive gay roommate at one point. I mean, bless him. He had no reason to know anything. And yet he was probably the most supportive one I've had. Even when I dated a girl and we were together for 3 years and she was not terribly helpful when I got my period. So,
Did you sync
Yeah.
up?
Did we sync up? That's a good question. Probably. I mean, for 3 years, I'm sure we did, but she never really had a bad period. Like, you wouldn't know if she didn't tell you. She was just one of those people who coasted right through. I don't know if we really, probably. That was a long time ago now, but probably.
Well, I just remember living in my senior year in college, there was 10 of us in a house and we all had our periods like at the same time.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I definitely had those times, but I think because I was always so just crushed by my period. I can't say I really interacted with anyone because I was just in the bathroom for 2, 3 days. And then I was just in bed unconscious. So I don't think I really spent a whole heck of a lot of time chatting with other people, but I'm sure we did. But yeah, she had such an easy period. I was a little like, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I feel like that would annoy me.
Yeah. Like, I definitely don't want to hear about it now.
Yeah.
It would be great to have male partners who are helpful and easy and have some knowledge and some understanding and at least aren't making it worse, right? Like, well, why can't you cook dinner tonight? Or why aren't you cleaning the whatever? To have partners who are like, no, I get it. Go lay down, relax. It's a little thing, but it makes a huge difference. So having boys who are educated, understand what it is, know what it means, right? I have a friend who's got 2 boys, and they know that mommy has a painful period and that she feels really bad. And so they give her foot rubs and they will ask her, like, are you going to get your period soon? Should we give you some foot rubs? What can we do to make it better? And
Wow.
if they're willing to help mom, then down the line, if they have a roommate or a flatmate or a friend or a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, at least they have I used to give my mom foot rubs whenever she got her period because it was really painful for her. And, what can I do for you?
My boys offer me chocolate, and I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
Take
good. Appropriate. That's right. Chris does the same thing. He just throws chocolate on. He'll come home and be like, I know we're getting close. I bought 3 extra chocolate bars here. Stick them on your nightstand.
It's the emotional part of relationships that becomes challenging for me anyways. So just letting my partner know, Jim, I'm getting my period. Leave me alone. Versus I think when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I probably didn't even have that kind of language yet to tell someone who I was dating what was happening. Even though after the fact, after we would fight, I'd be like, oh, I wish I I wish I just had this conversation because maybe it would have been an aha moment for both of us. But as I've gotten older, it's more, leave me alone, don't breathe on me, my period's coming. I had an interesting thought the other day too, though, in terms of men getting older and like their hormones also shifting and changing, like this PMS cycle thing too, because I feel like a lot of our partners are getting more emotional too as we get older. Are you noticing that too? Like with emotions, dealing with emotions in the home, like with everything, life just feels heavy. But I've noticed that too. I'm like, huh, you're also having a shorter fuse.
So he's already very silently emotional. He's not a very vocal. He just is like, I need to, like, I'll see it sometimes when he's dealing with his ex in custody, right?
Mm.
And he'll be like, I just need to go be here by myself and just, I love you. I will come out when I can. I just need to process, right? Like,
Mm.
he's just a very quiet, at least for negative emotions. He just kind of needs the time to do whatever it is that he does to process said emotions. I'm assuming some Tai Chi Qigong thing, some breathing pattern or meditation. I don't know, but he just goes and has some time to himself. So I don't know. He's not, but that's one of the reasons I like him is because he's not he's an optimist. He's usually looking on the bright side of things. He's usually like, no, we can figure it out. Let's just sit down and work it out kind of person. Like, let's chat it through. Let's work it out. Let's figure it out. Always the optimist in things. So when he is in a funk, he just kind of goes, you know what? I just need a couple
Mhm.
hours to defunkify and I'll be back. I'm like,
But now that I think about it, I wonder if my husband is riding my emotions versus his emotions. That could be interesting because he's very much like your Chris too. So I wonder if that's what's actually happening.
be. Could be. He's pretty good at when dealing with mine. Like, if I'm getting crabby or something, he's very much like, do you need to go just sit, relax, take care of yourself for a little bit? Have you smoked any weed today? Have you had any chocolate? Have you had some tea? Like, do you need to go
Mhm.
outside and just relax for a little bit? So he usually can see it and he doesn't take things personally. That's the one thing that I do like about him is he doesn't take any of it personally. He just kind of goes, yeah, I know, I get it. It's all right. Just go do whatever you need to do to feel better.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is one of those things. I was reading a Reddit thing where someone was like, I don't know, he just yells at me sometimes. It's like, dump his ass. Like, I don't even have to tell me anything after that. He yells, dump his ass. You don't need that in your life.
Those Reddit threads, oh my God, we have to have a whole conversation about Reddit threads, but people are so, what's the word I'm looking for? Blunt, I guess. Like, no, just dump them. It's good.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand these people making excuses for everyone in their lives to be terrible. Just be happy being single, and then you won't tolerate any of the nonsense. And then when you find somebody who's actually an asset, you can have a nice, healthy relationship. But if you are constantly on the hunt for a relationship, then you're giving away you're willing to make concessions for poor behavior that you don't need to put up with or deal with. And as somebody who's dated both genders, I can say this is true for both genders as well.
I'm sure. You just have to find a good person.
Exactly. At the end of the day. But that's why it's like, I wish more people in their 20s were happier being single and working on just their own thing so that they didn't tolerate such nonsense. And then they too couldn't understand themselves and not be the nonsense in a relationship either, right? Like, learn your own stuff, learn your own things. And anyway, whole side tangent.
No, but my husband gave me that advice, and I wish I had known I would have ended up with the right person and going backwards. But my cousin said the same thing to me that you just said. And I don't know if I actually believed him or not until I met Jim. Well, not met him, but like got together with Jim.
Yeah, it's true.
So
but
everyone that's listening, it's fine. Be single.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it. It's all right. Relax.
Yeah. Glen, thank you for sharing. I think that I will never not think about that next time I go to a water park. So I will keep my eyes out for a girl with a towel wrapped around her and see if she needs any help.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to keep a lookout and be that safe person.
Yeah.
Because that was traumatizing.
The good takeaway, can you be the safe person? I mean, like I carry tampons with me. I haven't used a tampon in decades, but I still make sure I have a tampon in my purse when I go out because you just don't know. Somebody out there might be in need. So I don't use them, but I do carry them just in case somebody needs a little support or helping hand. And I have used them a lot, actually. I have given them away a number of times. So it can be little things that can make the biggest difference in someone's life.
Life-changing for some people. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Glen. It was so good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. That was so fun.
Love it. And we'll see all of you in the next episode, besties. Bye for now.
A big shout out and thank you to our sponsors for today's episode, Period Coaching School and Katie Bresek Wellness.
Thanks to you, our favorite bestie, for listening to the Period Besties Podcast, where no topic is TMI. And of course, share this episode with your besties.
Remember to leave us a 5-star review, nothing less than the best for us besties, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
You can follow us on Instagram at Stasha Washburn and at Katie Bresek, or email us at periodbestiespodcast@gmail.com.
Check out more about us at katiebresek.com and periodcoachingschool.com. And of course, check the show notes for free goodies and extras that support this episode.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye for now, besties.